The calendar has changed to November. That means it's championship month. And tonight, a quarterfinal matchup between Omaha Westside and Millard West from Phelps Field. It's game time on YurView. Good evening and welcome to Phelps Field, the home of the Westside Warriors, where tonight two teams meet in the quarterfinals that combine to win 17 of their 20 games so far this season. Along with John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. The calendar has changed to November. We are down to the final 8 and a great matchup. Rock'em Sock'em football tonight, John.
Yeah, and a couple of teams, Gary, that we've seen twice already this year. We saw the Millard West Wildcats early on in the season, and we've seen Westside just recently last week in that absolutely dominating defensive performance over Lincoln East. Wildcats are going to have to be better on offense than Lincoln East was. They're going to come out of here with a win.
So how did we get to the 8? Well, last week in Class A, a couple of upsets. Elkhorn South over Lincoln High, also Grand Island over Omaha North. But both of these teams won in games that they were favored. And now we're down to the final 4. The winner of tonight's game takes on the lone unbeaten in Class A and the #1 team in Omaha Berth. 2 more wins, and you are to Lincoln. Welcome back. Let's talk about these two teams. First of all, let's talk about Millard West. And I say rock'em sock'em football. When you get Millard West, especially this time of the year, they've won 7 straight first-round games. Last year they lost in the quarterfinals, but they're physically tough and they're sound mentally.
Yeah, this is just a Millard West team that is so strong up front, and you know they don't allow a lot of points per game. 16.4. I mean, Westside absolutely phenomenal on the defensive side of the ball, but this Millard West team, year in and year out, Gary, they're so good up front on both lines, and they play very, very hard.
Look at that turnover margin, plus 12 for Westside. Millard West key player tonight will be?
Well, it's none other than Jackson Wright. We had him week 1 when he went for 180 yards, and last week he went for 139. He's a big, physical running back, but that doesn't mean he's slow. He can run away from defenders as well, and if he gets into the open field, he's tough to bring down, and he just might make you miss.
On the other side, for Omaha Westside, they have a plethora of offensive talent. We call them the Young Guns, and one of the youngest leads their offense.
Yeah, and it's Cole Payton at quarterback. He was on full display last week in that big win over Lincoln East. Look at that throw. Absolutely on a dime. He puts that down. And Cole Payton, he's so young, and you forget. You forget how young he is when you watch him play. Bright future for this young man.
This should be a lot of fun. I say rock'em sock'em football. Wow. Come back and you'll find out. Westside and Millard West. The winner is on to the state semifinals. Kickoff is next. It's game time on YurView.
No matter what their personal feelings or loyalties may be in this contest.
Game time high school football action on YurView is presented by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. And by Cox Business Security. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time. For in-depth interviews, behind-the-scenes coverage, recruiting updates, and more, be sure to visit yourview.com, your home for high school football.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. And while she likes to take risks in the kitchen, we made it easy to keep an eye on safety. It's just another way we do business differently. Cox Business Security Solutions.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to take classes I need, spend less time working to pay for them. I want flexibility to transfer my credits. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
The Westside Warriors and the Millard West Wildcats set to go in quarterfinal action tonight at Phelps Field, where Westside is 5-0 this year, 9-1 overall. Millard West is 8-2 on a crisp night for football. Everybody's excited for the postseason. We're into round number 2 as Brett Freund, in the middle of his Warrior football team, final instructions as they will kick off to begin this game. Welcome back. There's John Schreiner. I'm Gary Sharp. That is a Millard West team that, after losing in Week 8 to Lincoln East, they have bounced back, winning last week against Creighton Prep, and a lot of those keys were keys in their victory. Yeah, and I think offensively they're going to need to do some quarterback run game. Tristan Gomez has been really good, 88 carries for 504 this year. Keep it in front. You can't allow big plays over the top for this Westside passing game. And the turnover battle, you saw it. They were -1 in the season. Westside +12. If they're -1 or 2 in this game, Gary, I don't think they're going to win. Two-veteran head coach Brett Freund in his 10th year. You'll see Kirk Peterson on the other side in his 16th year and a state title on his resume. And we are underway as the kickoff is into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, as Millard West will have the football to begin, and we will see Tristan Gomez, who last week accounted for 3 touchdowns in the 31-14 victory over Creighton Prep. And we'll take a look at the keys for Westside here in just a moment. But I think the #1 key for them is to take advantage. They need touchdowns, not field goals when they get into the red zone. Rally. Jackson Wright's a big back. You got to get multiple bodies to the ball with this smaller defense. And Yoakum's boot might play a big factor in field position tonight, the punter for Westside. And he's one of the top punters in Class A. And the option pitch right away, as Sullivan with a big carry, and that's a first down all the way out to the 30-yard line. That's only his 9th carry of the season. Cole Sullivan, a seldom used wide receiver in this offense. It's a big carry to start this one. It'll be interesting, Gary, to see. I mean, we've said it in both times we've seen Westside. They're smaller than their opponents, but they fly around. See if they can do that against this much bigger Millard West team. Big and physical, and Jackson Wright bangs his way for 8. Wright, who has been the workhorse, 43 carries in the last 2 weeks. He'll line up behind that staunch offensive line. You see the Millard West starting offense. They got 2 guys up front that go 290 and 2 that go 225 or better. It's a pretty big offensive line that's going to lean on that smaller defensive line. 2 plays, 17 yards for the Wildcats. And another first down carry. 3 carries, 2 first downs. Sullivan has carried it twice. Against this defense that is one of the best defenses in Class A. They have only allowed 78 points this season in 10 games. Yeah, and pretty surprisingly so. And Jake Holmstrom back after illness. He was out last week. And watch for 15, Grant Taggy. He's one of the tackling machines in the Metro. They'll be around the football all night long. In the first round victory over Creighton Prep, Millard West ran the ball 43 times for 265 yards. And they run it again, and this is the first time that they get minimal gain into the heart of that defensive line. Miller Johnson led the initial stop. They call him Deuce. He's a 3-year starter. A little undersized, right in the middle of the defense. But fundamentally, they're very sound. Just going to look at Kirk Peterson, now in his 16th year. Won the state title as the head coach of the Wildcats in 2008. Runner-up in 2009 and then 2015. He's led his program to 7 straight opening round wins. Both of these teams were knocked out in the quarterfinals of last year. No gain on that carry. First time the Millard West on the opening drive of the game has not had positive yardage. Tristan Gomez, the quarterback. They use a single quarterback. We saw him the first 2 games of the year, and they were rotating quarterbacks. Gomez keeps it here and gets out to the 49. That's a pickup of 6, and now it'll be 3rd down and 4. First time tonight that Millard West has had a 3rd down facing one. Yeah, you mentioned it that at the start of the season, Nate Glantz and Tristan Gomez competing for that job. When we saw him in week 1, it looked like Glantz had the advantage. Gomez hadn't played football in a year and a half, but as this season has progressed, Tristan Gomez has established himself as the clear #1 guy. As I mentioned, had 504 rushing yards in the season, 1,172 passing yards in the season.
He's been really good at directing this offense.
See what he can do on 3rd down and 4 against a 5-man front. He keeps it. He barrels his way and falls on his backside to the 46, and that's enough for a 1st down.
And this is different, Gary. This is a different offense than we saw from the Wildcats early on in the season. If you remember, if you were with us for some of those games, it was shotgun, lots of cross motion, the zip and zap, as they call it, handoffs to Jackson Wright out of that shotgun, zone read style stuff. And now we're seeing, for the first time, here's Gomez in the gun.
1st down and 10 into Westside territory at the 46. And he slings it out toward the sideline. It is caught inside of the 40 and down to the 36-yard line. So that'll be close to a 1st down. May be short by a yard as Dallas Beanham hauled it in. The fastest wide receiver that Millard West has, his 45th reception of the year. Look at this arm by the junior. Thrown it to the boundary.
Looking like his older brother there, zipping one out to the sideline.
His older brother Colby is now at Nebraska on a baseball scholarship. Tristan 6'4", 195. And the Millard West drive continues to begin this quarterfinal matchup. Jackson Wright's going nowhere. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. And on this drive, Millard West will face their 2nd 3rd down. They converted earlier. This is a ball control offense that ate up 30-plus minutes of the clock in the 17-point win last week over Creighton Prep. Just when you think they keep it on the ground, they run between the tackles, they'll surprise you with something over the top. But they like to control the tempo of the game. These two teams are built very similarly.
Yeah, it's predicated on speed for the most part.
3rd down and 2. Gomez under center. Handoff to Wright, and he may be half a yard short. He had to gain the 36 as you see where they're going to place the ball down, and it'll be short, and now it is 4th down and inches. In the first big decision of this quarterfinal matchup, Kirk Peterson keeps his offense on the field. Why not behind that big offensive line? 4th down and 1 at the 37-yard line.
It's almost an old-school pro-style set with the 2 backs aligned in the backfield, not in an I formation. Now we've got single back 4 wide.
Man in motion. Wright the lone back in the backfield. Gomez moves forward. He slid to his left over the guard, and he got to the 35-yard line is where they're going to mark it, and that should be enough for a 1st down. When you're 6'4", you just kind of lean forward, and he did just that. Got enough for the 1st down. But he knew he was stopped, and then he shuffled to his left and got the extra yard. And the drive continues for the Wildcats. It's eaten up the first 5 minutes of this football game. They'll snap it now from about the 36. They actually moved it back a half a yard, but by inches. Gomez on 3rd down converts another conversion. He's 2 for 2. As they drive against this defense that last week held Lincoln East to 70 yards of total offense. And Wright is met right away in the backfield. He was going nowhere as Harwood knew that play from the start, and he drops right for a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, nobody blocks Jerry Harwood from the defensive end spot. He just slants inside and blows it up. Get another look at it. Here's Harwood. Bang, just right past the man who was going to the 2nd level to make a block. Nobody picks up the defensive end.
Westside's the 4 seed. Millard West is the 5 seed. The winner will face either Burke or Lincoln Southeast next Friday night in the semifinals. It was a loss of 1. Gomez to put it up. On the run, throws, and it's incomplete. Looking downfield, a little too hot to handle for the intended wide receiver, James Conway. And it is 3rd down and 11 as Brett Curran was on the coverage.
Play action rollout, pressure in his face. Gomez has to release a little earlier than he wants to, and the coverage is good on the back end. But Millard West has used up half the quarter already on this first possession, Gary.
Gomez accounted for 3 touchdowns and 238 yards of total offense last week. He faces a 3rd down and 11 on this drive. Millard West is 2 for 2 on 3rd downs. High formation, 3 wide receivers at the disposal of Gomez. He'll roll out to his right on the blind side. The pressure is on. Throws it deep down the field towards the end zone. And it is caught. Touchdown! Jackson Hazen. broke free, held on to it. And on 3rd down and 11, a 37-yard touchdown pass from Gomez to Hazen.
Wow, there's a great block in the backfield that allows this to even happen, Gary. Miller Johnson is coming, as well as Jake Holmstrom. And the blitz gets picked up, and Gomez beats Avante Dickerson over the top. You don't see that or hear about it very often. But Jackson Hazen, just his 4th catch of the season, and it's a huge touchdown here in the first quarter.
And another 3rd down that was converted. 3 for 3 on the drive, 80-yard drive. Ate up 6 minutes and 13 seconds of the clock. And Tristan Gomez throws his 13th touchdown pass of the year, 37 yards to Jackson Hazen. And Sam Fetty is in to put the Wildcats up 7-0. And he is 42 of 42 this year. That is a statement opening drive by Millard West. Featured a little bit of everything.
Something else. It was up until that point, it was a physical, in-your-face, pound the ball between the tackles type of drive. Used up a ton of time, and then a big strike on the 3rd down play. I think we learned what the game plan is for Kirk Peterson and company here in the first quarter, Gary. They're going to try and just run right at this smaller defensive line for Millard West, punish them, shorten the game, reduce the number of opportunities that potent offense gets.
This is also an offense that is adjusting to the absence of their offensive coordinator. Seth Thurman is away from the team due to personal reasons. They're finally getting back into the offensive mode. And this will help you right here. Touchdown pass. Millard West up 7-0. Westside gets the ball for the first time when you return. It's game time on YurView.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Here's to the do-gooders. They're the early risers, the selfless, the forward thinkers, the brave. There are many ways to describe them. We call them family. CHI Health. Good happens here.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Millard West takes the opening kickoff, and they put it in the end zone. Kirk Peterson happy with that game plan. Up 7-0. Tristan Gomez, the junior quarterback. This is a season where we've seen a lot of sophomores and juniors play critical roles. And Gomez puts the Cats up with a touchdown pass. These two teams lost in the quarterfinals last year. The winner is on to the semifinals. These two teams have combined to win 17 of their 20 games. Westside began the year 8-0. They lost on the final weekend of the regular season to Millard South. Westside has lost to Burke and Lincoln East, and now Westside gets an opportunity to respond to Millard West's opening score. And they'll respond with the speed of Avante Dickerson, 4.37.40, and he's out to the 29-yard line. Good starting position for Omaha Westside. We'll take a look at the Warrior offense led by the sophomore quarterback in a moment. But coming up this week on YurView's high school football recruiting podcast, Over the Middle, October is when we see surprises emerge on the recruiting trail, and nobody is a bigger surprise than the Arkansas Razorbacks. Chad Morris has the Hogs ranked in the top 20 in every recruiting service. To discuss the Hogs' resurgence, Jeremy Crabtree talks with Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Jeremy also breaks down the latest with five-star quarterback Spencer Rattler and previews some of the top matchups this week on YurView. All that and more on this week's episode of Over the Middle Podcast. Check it out on YurView.com. Dickerson carries for 2. The talented sophomore in the backfield. Very good offense. Maybe a surprise to some. They run behind a stout 5-man offensive line with some good skill players.
They certainly have the skill position players, Gary. Speed to burn on the outside and in the backfield for this Westside team.
Play action fake, Peyton, quick toss. It's incomplete. And they're going to go up against a defense tonight that opened the season right here on Game Time by shutting out Millard North and held Prep to just 54 yards rushing last week.
Yeah, and Matt Huser, defensive tackle 75, will be one to watch. He's a good one.
He's accepted a preferred walk-on offer from Nebraska, so he'll be a Husker in college. 3rd down and 7 at the 31. Peyton to put it up again. His toss is into traffic, and it is knocked away. Incomplete as Merkley batted away from Packett, who had a monster game last week on Game Time with a win over Lincoln East. And 3 and out go the Warriors. Greg Freund in his 10th year. He'll talk with his coaches upstairs and his coaches on the sidelines when they get the ball back. But down 7-0. One of the keys John mentioned at the beginning of the game is Cole Yoakum. Yoakum, 39.2 yards per punt. That is 2nd in Class A. After a 3 and out, his punt will roll all the way back to the 23-yard line, and it's going to be a loss. Downfield to make the special teams tackle, Tyson Guzman. And Millard West to take over at the 18-yard line. Might have been a smarter decision just to let it roll. So you see Guzman, he was not going to let the returner for the Wildcats, Garrett Kennedy, get out of his sights.
Yeah, that's a dangerous pickup. Garrett Kennedy taking matters into his own hands. Pick that bouncing ball up like that, you just never know what's going to happen.
This is one of 4 quarterfinals in Class A tonight. Keep you updated on what is happening around the area. Here's 7-0. Millard West running the option. The 6'4" quarterback, and Gomez finds Taggy. Also Wyota. In this defense for Westside, they've held 6 of their opponents to a touchdown or less from that 3-4 look they give.
This offense for Millard West, Gary, takes you back to the 90s with the 2-back set, running the speed option. Haven't seen the likes of this in many years here in the Metro.
We've already seen that Gomez will run the ball. He's run it 90 times this year. He'll throw it on 2nd down, and he's looking deep down the sidelines, and there is separation, but just out of the reach of Garrett Kennedy.
Oh, I think Kennedy had a shot at that one, Gary. He just might have taken his eye off it at the last second, and if he catches it, he's probably waltzing into the end zone. Have another look. It's a well-thrown ball by Gomez. Ton of air under it. Plenty of room to run into it. Gomez loses track of it. Yeah, and that's right between Kennedy's mitts.
Kennedy has 8 catches this year for 248 yards. Pull out your calculator. That is a mind-boggling average.
31 yards.
And that would have been from 82. So now it's 3rd down and 10. Millard West 3 for 3 on the opening scoring drive on 3rd down. Gomez rolls out under pressure. He's hit. He throws it up. And it lands on the green space as Gomez goes down. And Westside's defense forces a 3 and out. And they're going to get the ball back with really good field position, as they'll send Devontae Dickerson back near midfield, down 7-0 in this quarterfinal tilt.
Well, that's what this defense needed after they gave up that physical, grinded out touchdown drive, punctuated by the big pass play. This defense needed to come in, shut the offense down, and get back to the sideline.
Dickerson calls a fair catch. And Westside will start at their own 48-yard line. Monte Dickerson likes playing on Game Time. He's had a pick 6 this year against Creighton Prep. Had an interception in a long run last week against Lincoln East that led to Warrior scores. Kirk Peterson was a defensive coordinator under Dan McLaughlin, who led Millard West to the state title in 2001. They had a stretch between 1998 and 2001 at Millard West where they only lost 6 football games. Got a pipeline of young talent. 8-2, Westside 9-1. These two teams last met 2014 in the opening round of the playoffs. Parsonage weaves his way to the second level and into Millard West territory for a pickup of 4.
Parsonage up the middle to the Wildcats for the 8-yard line.
Sam Parsonage.
Second down, Warriors.
And he's dealt with some ankle issues, and you see him hobbling off the field yet again. It's just, we saw it last week when we saw this team, Gary. It just doesn't look right.
Now he's missed 3 games due to that injury. And a big pickup on a burst by Kalani just off the bench. It'll be short of the first down. Leo Kalani is one of the trio of running backs. So 3rd down and 2, and Westside hurries it up under center. Payton hands it off to Kalani, and his second surge is going to give him enough for the first down.
You got a good push in the back from offensive linemen. Just gave him, it was Kate Haberman coming in there, give him a little push in the back. Got him over the line for the first down, and now this good field position is turning into scoring field position for Westside.
Not the biggest offensive line, but they are well coached. They returned 3 starters from last year, and it's shown as the season has gone along. So 1st down and 10 for the Warriors. And Kalani this time maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage before he is met. And on the tackle, Nasser Nabulski. Payton's pass is caught. Touchdown. Grant Taggy on a little out, and he turns it up and he outruns everybody. And we're a PAT away from a 7-7 game.
This is a really nice throw from Payton. It's a slant route. And Grant Taggy just gets inside the defender. Nobody in front of him. Safety was out of the picture, and Taggy takes it in.
Jack Bush is on to try and make it a 7-7 game. 2 long touchdown passes are scores, and Bush has tied the game with 2:13 to go here in the first quarter.
This is a great route by Grant Taggy to get inside of his man, and then a great throw by Payton to just put it on the dot. And Grant Taggy, who's more known for his efforts on the defensive side, puts 7 up for the offense.
A 37-yard touchdown pass for Millard West, and now a 41-yard touchdown pass by Cole Payton, who Payton now with 18 touchdowns on the season. 31 of his last 44 coming into tonight. They have a sophomore quarterback and a junior quarterback, and a 7-7 game. Last year, Millard West went 9-2. They lost a thriller in the quarterfinals to Omaha Burke, 43-37. Westside last year went 8-3, and they lost to Kearney in the quarterfinals. Look at Garrett Kennedy, who is deep to receive this kickoff. Now 7-7. Number 4 seed against the number 5 seed. Higher seed host. That's why we're back at Phelps Field on the campus of Omaha Westside, where the Warriors are 5-0 this season. Aiden Jackson will send it into the end zone. The Wildcats will start at the 20-yard line. So Millard West took the opening kickoff, and they marched 80 yards down the field for a score. Then they forced a 3-and-out. Then the Westside defense forced a 3-and-out. And Omaha Westside with a scoring drive of 52 yards to tie the game at 7. Now I think we've all settled in.
back to honors even with 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Millard West, what a start to their season on the schedule. A treacherous 4-gamer to begin. They're here in the quarterfinals at 8-2. And on the option, Sullivan, who has become an option in this running game tonight with a pickup of 5.
Yeah, and I didn't see anything from Millard West last week, Gary, but these are new wrinkles to me for this offense. The 2-back set and the option with Sullivan, who had been a starting wide receiver but hadn't really touched the ball a lot. Might have found a new home in the backfield here.
And these two teams don't play each other on a regular basis, so they're just going off of film. 2nd down and 5 with a pickup of 5 by Sullivan, who's in motion. The handoff up the middle for a minimal gain for Jackson Wright. So to bring a 3rd down with the clock running. Under 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter. The first 4 games of the year for Millard West, they took on Millard North, Omaha Burke, Omaha North, and Millard South. They came out of that 3-1. They went 4-2 against teams with a winning record in the regular season. Now they face a 3rd down and 3. Tristan Gomez, who's taken over the starting job back in September. Play action, looking deep down the sideline, and it is knocked away. Guzman knocked it away on 3rd down, and that will force a Millard West punt. What a throw, and what a good defensive play.
It's perfect technique by Guzman as he just tracks the wide receiver all the way down the field. We're going to get another look right here. Great play fake. And watch Guzman. He's watching the wide receiver. And we're not going to watch the replay.
Gomez threw that ball 40+ yards in the air. Westside bringing the pressure, and the punt is away. Dickerson catches it at the 41. And he will dance into Wildcat territory for a return of 14 yards with 33 seconds to go in the first quarter. Westside, fresh off tying the game at 7. Their offense is right back on the field. An offense this year that in 9 of their 10 games they've scored 29 or more, 365 points on the season. And Westside started the year 8-0, then they lost to Millard South in week 9, 14-13. Game-winning points for the Patriots scored on a safety. Vontae Dickerson, though, late in the game with a chance to put the Warriors ahead, fumbled at the 5-yard line. Not a lot of people at the beginning of the year were talking about Westside. Then on game time, they won 37-2 against Prep, and everybody was talking about Westside. Now they're 8-1 in the quarterfinals in a 7-7 game. And our first flag of the night from the back judge. Delay of game. The play clock ran out. If you just saw our referee, Ron Godsell, for the first time tonight, and you're wondering why he is not talking to us, we explained this last week when we were here at Phelps Field. We are on the opposite side of the press box. So when he gives his signal of the penalty, he is looking right at those folks. And we are directly behind him. So Ron's a big fan of game time. It just, he has to follow protocol. Pushes him back 5 yards. Payton to throw it again. And he finds Taggy again for a pickup of 10.
Well, this is the second possession now in a row that Westside started right around midfield, Gary. And if you're Millard West, that is not how you want to live. Giving this offense a short field, they don't need any help. And the connection between Payton and Taggy early on looking pretty good. It was his other wide receiver last week. He was our player of the game in Dylan Packett, but it's Grant Taggy so far in the first quarter.
7-7. How did we get here after 1 quarter? This is how. It's the quarterfinals from Phelps Field. Game time on YurView.
Transform your existing space today with a new remodel from DeLoa & Sons. No matter what your budget is, our in-house design team will bring your vision to life, providing the quality craftsmanship you expect. And you work directly with the owner during all phases of your project, remodeling residential and commercial spaces for over 20 years. DeLoa & Sons. Design, build, remodel. Start your new project today. Call or learn more at deloaconstruction.com.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. And while she likes to take risks in the kitchen, we made it easy to keep an eye on safety. It's just another way we do business differently. Cox Business Security Solutions.
Now at H&H, Factory Direct Clearance Pre-Owned. As a new car dealer, we get access to Factory Direct used vehicles before the public. And we just got a shipment at all 3 locations. Visit hhautomotive.com and click Factory Direct to see them all. Deals like this 2017 Camry, only $16,000. We're passing the savings on to you at all 3 H&H locations. Or shop online, hhautomotive.com.
7-7 as we begin the second quarter. Are you looking for a new career? Explore our programs in business, health, and technology. Get going today on your career path by visiting iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Along with John Schreiner, Frank Ryan is our statistician. I'm Gary Sharp. Final night of our season on Game Time. What a year it's been. We're knotted at 7. 2 long touchdown passes. 2nd down and 5 as we begin the second quarter. Play action. Payton. Chase got away from the pressure. Fires downfield, and it is incomplete. There were 2 Warriors in the neighborhood as Merkley almost got to Payton before the sophomore southpaw zipped it downfield, and it'll be now 3rd down and 5.
Blitz comes off the edge. Payton, good job to escape the pressure. But I think the jump in the air and the hand in the face might have just thrown off Dickerson, as it was Trevor Barajas up in the air trying to corral the pass.
Payton, quick drop pass caught, and it'll be a 1st down. He finds Packett.
Yeah, Packett's been real good. Just a junior himself. 25 catches now. Over 470 yards on the season, and he had a good one last week.
Payton's got that strong arm. Remember Bob Greco's baseball team. On the other side, he got Jackson Wright, who is a key member of Steve Fry's baseball team. Both these schools have excellent baseball programs. We got Frank Ryan, a Hall of Famer, former Millard West head coach, sitting next to us tonight doing stats. 2nd down and 6. The Warriors driving. Curran not going anywhere. Putler came up to bring him down. This is his 2nd year as a starter at linebacker.
Bubble screen, but lots of white jerseys out there. Wildcats defend it well. Curran with just nowhere to go. Big 3rd down here for Millard West.
West side showing pressure. Payton play action. Fires it downfield, and it's picked off. Wilbeck into Warrior territory inside of the 30 before Payton brought him down. He jumped the route. And the first turnover of the night puts Millard West in great position at the 29-yard line.
Cole Payton doesn't put enough zip on this pass. He floats it into the flat, staring that way the whole time. It's floated. And an easy interception and a huge play. Millard West had been pinned in their own end. It looked like Westside was ready to take control of this game, and how the fortune has flipped after that big interception. Huge turnover.
Gomez Looks to the end zone, and it is knocked away by Guzman. As he was step for step with Beanham. I like that play call, though, right after the interception to go for it. But Guzman now twice has key pass breakups. Will bring up 2nd down and 10.
His technique is just so good. He stares at the wide receiver, gets into his chest, and then waits for the receiver to turn and look for the ball. And that's when he turns and looks and bats it away. Great play by Tyson Guzman.
6'4", 195, has received a preferred walk-on offer from Nebraska that he is considering. Gomez runs the option, pitches it late to Sullivan, and Sullivan brought down for about a pickup of 3, so it'll be 3rd down and 7 for Millard West.
Is it just me, Gary, or is Jackson Wright barely even a part of the game plan tonight? He has been seldom used, as Millard West has run the ball with Sullivan and Gomez through what is a quarter plus now.
Last week against Prep, Wright ran 26 times for 139 yards. Outfielder in baseball, cleanup hitter. Now on 3rd down and 7, as Millard West is going to take a timeout. Kirk Peterson want to get the right personnel in, and this is a key decision after the Wilbeck interception. Millard West will talk about this one. 3rd down and 7 from the 26-yard line, tied at 7 with 9:46 to go in the first half of the quarterfinal matchup here at Phelps Field. It's game time on YurView.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Here's to the do-gooders. They're the early risers, the selfless, the forward thinkers, the brave. There are many ways to describe them. We call them family. CHI Health. Good happens here.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
From 16 to 8, here's 7-7 in the second quarter. Bellevue West and Elkhorn South scoring derby at Bell West tonight, 14-14 at Millard South. He's taken the lead over Grand Island, 7-0. Millard West earlier this year beat Millard South in overtime. The Patriots now on a 6-game winning streak. Burke is up 21-0 on Lincoln Southeast. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Burke and Southeast next week in the semifinals. 3rd down and 7 on the 26-yard line after the Millard West timeout. Both quarterbacks have thrown touchdown passes. Gomez under center. Fires it towards the end zone, and it's picked off. Back-to-back interceptions. Kobe Bretz. And Bretz with the return all the way out to the 45-yard line. As Gomez just kind of slung it up towards the goal line. 50-50 ball, and Bretz came down with it. So after the Wilbeck interception from Millard West, they can't do anything with it, and Westside gets one of their own.
And Gomez, he just leaves this one over the middle of the field, and Bretz almost had no choice but to pick it off. It was thrown right to him. And then a good return sets the Warriors up again with really nice field position.
All the way out to the 45-yard line. Payton fakes the handoff and runs right up the middle and breaks a tackle. He's free inside of the 30.
Well, what can't this young man do? Seen him do it with his arm, coming off a crucial interception that his defense bailed him out by getting the ball back. He goes right between the tackles for a big gainer.
Pick up a 27. Parsonage for a yard. Westside hasn't won a state title since they won back-to-back in 81-82. Finished runner-up in 2013, losing to Omaha North. Peyton play action. Now he's under pressure. On the run, tosses it downfield, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Gabe Anderson. His 9th interception of the season. That's tops in Class A.
Well, Cole Payton had thrown a total of 3 interceptions on the season coming into this game. He'd been marvelous protecting the football for this offense. Back-to-back interceptions for Cole Payton. That's not good from the young man. Rolling out, running away from the pressure. You can't throw late over the middle. It's the one thing you can't do as a quarterback. Don't throw late over the middle. The safety's going to be hawking that ball. And a big interception for Millard West.
And a pickup of nearly 10 yards for Sullivan after the interception. Give him the first down. Westside has been so good this year in taking the football away and holding on to it. Coming in, they were plus 12 in the plus-minus turnover chart. 2 turnovers tonight, 1 for Millard West. 3 straight possessions have ended in interceptions. Sullivan in motion. And here's Jackson Wright. He runs over a Warrior for a pickup of 7. He met Dickerson and Harwood. Positive yardage for Jackson Wright. He's not straight line fast, but he is rugged. Next thing you know, you check the box score at the end of the game, and you see a night like he had against Millard North, when he ran for 185 to begin the season. Run for 850 this year. Clock running. Under 8 minutes to go in the first half. 7-7 our score. Millard West scored on the opening drive. Gomez option. And a big pickup. Inside of the 45-yard line for Sullivan, who prior to tonight had carried the ball 8 times.
I don't think that Westside was prepared for this game plan at all, Gary. Coming out, offset I formation, running the option. They look like they're kind of lost out there, this defense. They don't know what to do with it.
This defense last week against Lincoln East, for the first 41 minutes, they allowed 1 yard, 70 total. The Wildcats are running right at the strong front 4 that was crucial in that 34-7 victory. They run at him again with Sullivan for a pickup or 2. 2nd down and 8.
I said that I thought Millard West was going to have to come up with some turnovers in this one. They'd been -1 on the year. How about interceptions on back-to-back passes? That'll do it. Now they've got to make it pay.
An offense in 7 of the 10 games this year. They've scored 30 or more. 2nd down and 8 for the junior quarterback. Hands it off to Wright, and he just runs over people, including his own man, for a pickup of 9. They'll move the sticks. 1st down, Wildcats.
And this is where I thought Millard West could take advantage, was with Jackson Wright's size and his ability to break through tackles against smaller defenders.
Are you interested in an exciting career in media studies? Check out the opportunities in TV, radio, and sports promotions at Iowa Western. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. All the way down to the 32-yard line after Anderson's 9th interception of the season. They're getting 2-3 yards on 1st down, and then getting a bigger number on 2nd down.
Well, this is about the area of the field, Gary, where we've seen when when Millard West has gotten down here, they like to take a shot. There hasn't been an intermediate passing game for Millard West yet. Mostly it's been shots deep.
Here's another one. Touchdown. Beanham was wide open. The play fake. Westside bid on it. Beanham wide open, but there is a flag down. A late flag.
What will it be?
Legal man downfield. Erased the touchdown. He'd already put it on the scoreboard here at Phelps Field. That was a late flag.
We're going to take another look and see if we can find it. There's the play fake, and right there you see it just at the front of the screen. I think it was Noah Klein, the right guard, got too far up the field, blocking his man, trying to sell that run block.
So it remains 7-7. And Kirk Peterson paces along the sidelines. Pushes it back to the 35-yard line.
Put a pin in that one. That could be critical.
Second down and 13. And a timeout called by Westside. Brett Freund saw something he didn't like, so he will call his first timeout of the first half. 5:27 to go. 7-7 our score. Kirk Peterson, a graduate of UNO, 16th year.
You can't argue with his results.
Nope. This time of the year is usually when Millard West is playing their best football.
He's part of that trio of Millard Public Schools coaches who just seem to win no matter what happens to them, no matter who they lose. They might go through a down year, but they don't stay down very long. And we're seeing a resurgence with Andy Means and his bunch this year. Millard North not quite as good as they have been, but Millard West right near the top year in and year out.
Iowa Western has the career choices that fit your busy schedule. Come to campus, study online, or enroll in evening classes now. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Second down and 13. Split backs behind Gomez. And he maybe gets a yard. So it'll be third down and long. Harwood and Opperman came up to bring down the junior quarterback.
Well, I think you run that play on second down with Gomez. You're hoping to get 3 or 4, maybe 5, and make it a third down and 7-8. And as it is, you don't block it properly up front. Gomez gets tackled for a short loss, and now it's third and even longer.
Two really good place kickers here tonight. Jack Bush from Westside, Sam Fetty from Millard West. They'll put it up on third down. Gomez slings it towards the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Gomez's pass falls incomplete into the end zone.
I was saying, Gary, that Millard West has not shown any intermediate passing game tonight. That it's either running between the tackles or throwing it deep, and they throw it deep here again, and it's almost picked off. Probably should have been, as Brett Curran was right there, had it in his mitts and couldn't haul it in.
On fourth down and 13 from the 34-yard line, Millard West will go for it. They hurry up to the line of scrimmage, and the timeout is then taken by Kirk Peterson. With 4:38 to go in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll chat with Ron Higdon, assistant director of the NSAA. Ron is in charge of wrestling. You know how popular wrestling is across the state of Nebraska, and in particular the state wrestling championships every February in downtown Omaha. Well, there's a little bit of added information on the future of the state wrestling tournament here in Omaha. That's coming up at halftime. And also we'll take a look at our top 10 plays from the season of high school football on Game Time. You don't want to miss all of that It is ahead in 4 minutes and 38 seconds. 7-7 our score. 4th down and 13 at the 35. Now, you not only have a good place kicker, but you also have a very good punter. Do you still elect to go for it, or do you put faith in a punter to pin Westside deep?
Yeah, I think if it's me, Gary, and it's not, just to make that clear, I'm not the coach. I think I punt it here. I think I try to make Westside go the length of the field.
Gomez will go in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. Lone running back. Snap back to him on 4th down and 13. Steps up, fires it deep down the field, and it is just out of the reach of the intended wide receiver. Beanham had come loose from the coverage and just missed him in the end zone. And Millard West will turn it over on downs.
Well, if we get to see the replay, you'll see Dallas Beanham has to make a slight adjustment with his body at the top of the route. And that slows him down just enough to keep him from making the catch. Gomez is incensed on the sidelines. We're going to take a look. Beanham lined up in the slot. Here's the throw. Had plenty of time, but we didn't get to see it. At the top of the route, Beanham makes a little adjustment that slows him down.
Payton, who has thrown 2 straight interceptions, plows ahead for 7 yards. Bellevue West has taken a 22-14 lead on Elkhorn South. Grand Island has tied Millard South at 7. Here it is 7-7, all the scoring in the first quarter. Millard West scored on the opening drive. Westside scored on their second drive. 2 long touchdown passes. Gomez and Payton. 2nd down and 3 with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Kalani looking for an opening and falls forward close to the 1st down marker. Matt Huser with the tackle. Grabbed the ankle of Kalani. Again, Huser headed to Nebraska, accepting a walk-on offer. And a huge Nebraska fan. He's got the ideal size in Nebraska's defense to grow on that defensive line. 6'5", 260 in movement. This is going to be a flag on Westside.
That's a costly 5 yards. Had a 3rd and short. Chance to just plunge ahead, reset the sticks, and now it's going to make it a 3rd and medium. Now you got to open up the playbook a little bit.
3.5 to go. The winner on to the semifinals. State championship game on the 19th of November in Lincoln at Memorial Stadium. We will have a new Class A champion, Omaha North. Last week led 24-0. Grand Island rallied with 38 unanswered to knock off the Vikings. And Payton's pass is complete, and that is a 1st down. Great play design. He found Barajas all the way down to the 45-yard line. That's a pickup of 18.
Well, blessings come in many shapes and forms, and setting you back 5 yards just might have opened up the playbook enough to get that big gain to Barajas right there.
Parsonage for a couple of yards.
Well, it's good to see Sam Parsonage back in there after we saw him limp off. Looks like he's got a heavy tape job on that ankle out there now. And hey, listen, he's a key little change of pace for Dickerson.
Especially with Joe Stegman not playing tonight. Parsonage again going nowhere.
And that's one thing that this offense is really missing, is a thumper in the backfield. They have Dickerson, who's pure speed, and Parsonage, who can make you miss a little bit. They don't really have anyone who can just run it straight at you, fall forward for 3.5 yards. They used Stegman early on in that role. We saw it against Creighton Prep inside the 5-yard line Stegman up in the eye because he's a little thicker. But they don't really have anyone who can pound it up inside.
3rd down and 8, all kinds of confusion. You had multiple Westside players trying to find their place in the formation. And Brett Freund calls a timeout with 1:49 now to go in the first half. And at halftime, Ron Higdon from the NSA will join us in our top 10 plays. Plus, we'll take a look at the other 3 games going on in Class A tonight. Semifinals are a week from tonight. As I mentioned, the state championship game is on Monday night, the 19th. Now Brett Freund on 3rd down and 8 with a decision. Will he put it in the hands of Cole Payton? Or we've seen, as a couple of times we've seen Westside this year, in certain situations like this, they run a stretch play. We'll see what running back they put out there. The Reavers are back in action this season. Follow Iowa Western's championship sports teams, including football and volleyball, at GoReavers.com. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Scott Strohmeyer, who has been so gracious this year on our broadcast. His Reavers now 7-1. Big game tomorrow at number 12, Butler. 3rd down and 8. Payton will put it up. Pump fake, under pressure, steps up, goes down. Back at the 49-yard line.
That was a blitz look from the Millard West defense. They did not want to give him time to set up back there and pick apart that secondary. Pressure's going to come from both edges and up the middle. And then Payton eventually just has to take a knee. Too much pressure in his face.
Yoakum hustles onto the field to punt on 4th down. Kennedy is back at his own 10-yard line. And Millard West awaiting the punt. As Brett Freund was watching the play clock wind down, he calls a timeout with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go in the first half. We've had no scoring here in the second quarter.
After the way that first quarter opened up with 37-yard touchdown pass, 41-yard touchdown pass, one each way, thought we might be in for a little scoring fest, but the defenses have really settled in this one, and the turnovers have really cut down on scoring opportunities for both sides.
Will Beck and Anderson with interceptions for Millard West to stop Westside drives. Kobe Bretz with an interception near the goal line to hold Millard West out of the end zone. Gomez hit Hazen from 37 yards out to begin the game, and then Payton to Taggy from 41 yards. And we just kind of settled in. Yoakum to punt the football away. Yoakum this year nearly 40 yards per punt. And it will bounce and roll out of bounds at the 13-yard line. So Millard West has 57 seconds and 1 timeout. The tail end of the first half.
Well, the last thing you want to do now for Millard West is turn this ball over with under a minute to go. I would expect that we're going to see 3 runs and get to the locker room.
Might see Gomez just take a knee.
That's another option.
And that is the correct option. So I'll have to snap it one more time.
That's been an interesting first half, Gary. I don't think either team has really established much of an offensive identity. We had the 2 early scores, and the defenses have just really put the clamps on this game.
And then both coaches will go to work in the locker room. The adjustments. Another snap to Gomez, and drops to a knee, and we are off to halftime. 7-7 Westside and Millard West in the quarterfinals. Ron Higdon from the NSA, our top 10 plays, stats, highlights, analysis from this first half. All to come when you return to Phelps Field. It's game time on YurView.
The Gigablast Halftime Show, powered by Cox, is presented by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. And by Cox Business Security. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time. For in-depth interviews, behind-the-scenes coverage, recruiting updates, and more, be sure to visit YurView.com, your home for high school football.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to experience a 4-year college in 2 years. I want to live on campus but get to my career faster. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
It starts with a hardwood fire, creating embers that produce just the right amount of heat. Delicious food prepared fresh from scratch. From an open kitchen, entrees that satisfy every palate. Wood-fired to perfection. Experience flavors like no other. Timber Wood Fire Bistro, Countryside Village.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Welcome back to Phelps Field. We're at halftime of the quarterfinal matchup between Omaha Westside and Millard West. And we get ready to say goodbye to the full sports season. The winter sports season is right around the corner. So we welcome in Assistant Director with NSAA in charge of wrestling, among other sports, Ron Higdon. Ron, welcome. You are a popular guy when it comes to the wintertime. You're in charge of one of the more popular events, the State Wrestling Championships, which are held right here in Omaha. And you have some exciting news for people that are wrestling fans, and especially of the venue that State Wrestling is held at.
Yeah, over the last several years, we've held the event in Omaha at the Quest Center. Then it was CenturyLink, and now it's called the CHI Center Arena. We are working on a contract extension and have agreed to a 5-year extension with them that'll last till 2023. So we're pretty excited about that, working on the details, but it's a phenomenal facility, it's a phenomenal staff, and really we couldn't pick a better place to host our wrestling championship.
And a phenomenal show for anybody that has not been there, especially on Saturday for the championships. Why is that venue so critical and so competitor friendly?
Well, one of the things as a director that I try to do, we try to make it competitor-friendly, coach-friendly, athlete-friendly, and fan-friendly. And the staff that we have at the CHI Center helps us with that, and they do a phenomenal job. And really, wrestling itself lends to pageantry, and we are able to make it pretty exciting for the student-athletes, and that's such a bonus for them, because for the majority of those people, that would be the most exciting athletic event of their life.
You've been in the wrestling game for over 4 decades, and your job, you divide a lot of things around the state. You hear from a lot of people, but tell our viewers a little bit about how your job has actually gotten a little bit easier because the state of Nebraska in terms of technology is ahead of other states.
You know, we were very fortunate to have in the wrestling world a platform called track wrestling that I believe 43 states are on already out of the 50. And it's a one service place to stop for everybody. The media, tournament administration, our weight management program, all of our results and scheduling go through there. And really it's fan friendly, and the fact that everybody is on the same page, it's really easy for them to find results. With TrackCast, they can watch webcasting, and the fact that almost every state is on the same one is such a benefit that other sports don't have. So really, we very rarely say this, but wrestling's ahead of the game on some of the other sports.
You pride yourself a lot on safety. How has weight management changed in this state and around the wrestling community?
You know, we've made a lot of changes through the years with weight management, and one of the things that I think probably helps us the most is a 1-hour weigh-in, because the way that kids used to cut weight and what we used to do back in the day is not sustainable for a 1-hour weigh-in and then going out and competing. In Nebraska, we're pretty stringent on how we manage our weight management program, because they have to record their weigh-ins every week and then print a new weigh-in sheet before they can even go to the next competition, which keeps them from the fluctuation that we used to have and all the serious weight cutting. So it's been a lot better safety-wise.
You're also in charge of the state duels with a little bit of a change for this upcoming year.
We do. We voted as a collective group, our schools voted, to change the qualification method. So now it's based on regular season competitions. So the duels themselves the results will go into a wild card system like our other wild card sports, and the 8 teams that come out of the top of that will be selected for our dual championships, which is a better way to do it than the way we did it in the past. And we moved the duels date. Before it was the week after the individual championship, and now it's going to be a week before districts, which helps in a bunch of different ways. And as we look at the future, those matchups and common opponents, things that we're going to get through that earlier date, is possibly something that we could use in the future to seed our state tournament, which is a great benefit.
Ron, we appreciate it. Our viewers can see on the screen more information on how they can find out about the NSA and all the great championships that are going on as we move from fall into the winter and into the spring. And if you've not been to the state wrestling championships in downtown Omaha at the CHI Health Center, this is the year to get there. Ron and his staff put on a great show with some fantastic competitors and coaches. Again, you see NSAAhome.org. Ron, thank you very much. Coming up more, halftime from Phelps Field. We'll take a look back at some of the best plays that we have seen and you have seen throughout the entire season. Some didn't even make it into our top 10. That's coming up next. Halftime from Phelps Field at Omaha Westside.
Schedule your campus visit today. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
Rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink in a blink. Just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit YurView.com.
Halftime at Phelps Field, Omaha Westside and Millard West, Class A quarterfinal. We're down to the final 8 in the state. On to the semifinals next week. What a year it's been here on Game Time. We hope you've enjoyed it from Nebraska and Iowa. We have seen some thrillers and we have seen some fantastic plays, John. We, from the home office, have put together our top 10 plays of the season.
Yeah, some really good ones here, and excited to see what ends up at number 1. But at number 10, we're going to go back to that Omaha North, Bellevue West contest when Houston Fogelstrom found Bryant Wesson in the corner of the end zone. Look at this beautiful over-the-shoulder grab by Wesson in the corner. That was a good one.
Number 9 features someone you've already seen tonight. We go back to the first game of the season. Tristan Gomez to Jacob Harmdurks. And the Northwest Missouri State recruit dives into the end zone. That's number 9 on our top 10 plays of the season.
At number 8, the state's number 1 team. We saw them early on this year, and it was Tyler Chadwick hooking up with the big-timer, Xavier Watts. Great catch in the back of the end zone. Watch on the reverse angle as he just keeps a foot down. Right there, back of the end zone, 1 foot down, ball secure. Cameraman almost knocked over Xavier Watts for 6 points.
Watts, who just recently received a Nebraska offer. He's only a junior. Coming in at number 7, Council Bluffs AL, Council Bluffs Thomas Jefferson. The rivalry game. And early on in this game, what a defensive play right here. Hope I didn't give it away. Logan Spanier makes the pick and gets a foot down for the Lynx. Thomas Jefferson would go on to win this game despite this fantastic defensive play by the AL defensive back.
In at number 6, one of our favorite players we got to see this season, Javon Ducker. He jukes, well, just about the entire team for Papillion La Vista South on his way into the end zone. Javon Ducker with a monster touchdown run in a game that Bellevue West just rolled the Titans up and down the field. Javon Ducker, another one of those recruits we'll be keeping an eye on come next season.
So now we are down to the final 5 top plays from the 2018 high school football season here on Game Time. One of the wilder games across the state was right here a couple of weeks ago. Omaha North and Bellevue West. North winning 52-49, and a big reason was the big fella, Xander Gray, ran for over 200 yards on that Friday evening. That was one of his touchdowns, breaking tackles and sprinting 59 yards for the score. Omaha North, though, will not have an opportunity to defend their Class A state championship, knocked out last week by Grand Island. But look for Xander Gray to continue his football career next year in college.
In at number 4, how about 3 plays from across the river? Here's one of them. This is Cameron Lukavsky. Look at the quarterback. On the zone read, breaking tackle after tackle and dragging a Lynx into the end zone with him. Cameron Lukavsky, you might know him as the other Cameron on this team, but he had a lot to say in this one. Cameron Lukavsky with a bevy of broken tackles on his way to 6.
Got a feeling we're going to talk about that other Cameron here in a moment. Here is play number 3. Why not? It was a fun one to call. It was a fun one to watch. Let's go back to Kinnick Stadium for Bellevue West and Omaha North. All kinds of offense. There was some defense. Right here, Avion Barnes takes it away from Bellevue West wide receiver Nate Sullivan. That was a game-changing pick for the Vikings, who would go on to win that game 52-49. Bellevue West, they're still alive, playing tonight in the semifinals against Elkhorn South.
In at number 2, back to Iowa we go again. This one, beautiful over-the-shoulder interception. Seneca Calhoun pins it to his own face mask. Look at it. Such concentration to hold onto the ball all the way through the contact. And Seneca Calhoun with a monster interception against the crosstown rival Abraham Lincoln Lynx. One more look at it right there. Pins it.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
Hi, I'm Van Deeb. I've been in the real estate business for over 35 years, helping buyers and sellers all over Omaha. Now I have a new, exciting, innovative program that will help you sell your house fast and get cash in your pocket in just 7 days with no fees, no inspections, and no repairs. If I don't buy it, I'll sell it for you. It's that simple. Just check it out at DeebBuysHousesFast.com. That's DeebBuysHousesFast.com.
It starts with a hardwood fire, creating embers that produce just the right amount of heat. Delicious food prepared fresh from scratch. From an open kitchen, entrees that satisfy every palate. Wood-fired to perfection. Experience flavors like no other. Timber Wood Fire Bistro, Countryside Village.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. And while she likes to take risks in the kitchen, we made it easy to keep an eye on safety. It's just another way we do business differently. Cox Business Security Solutions.
Second half away from 4 teams advancing on. Here, 7-7. We're back with the second half kickoff. After this, it's game time on YurView.
Here's to the do-gooders. They're the early risers. The selfless. The forward thinkers. The brave. There are many ways to describe them. We call them family. CHI Health. Good happens here.
Now at H&H, Factory Direct Clearance Pre-Owned. As a new car dealer, we get access to Factory Direct used vehicles before the public. And we just got a shipment at all 3 locations. Visit hhautomotive.com and click Factory Direct to see them all. Deals like this 2017 Camry, only $16,000. We're passing the savings on to you at all 3 H&H locations. Or shop online, hhautomotive.com.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to experience a 4-year college in 2 years. I want to live on campus, but get to my career faster. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Cox Business Security. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit YurView.com.
Even on the scoreboard after 24 minutes, and John Schreiner, pretty even right there with those numbers on your screen.
Yeah, numbers don't lie in this one. Within 6 yards of total offense, and the score reflects that exactly.
Turnovers, 2 interceptions by Peyton, 1 interception by Gomez, did not result in points. 2 touchdowns scored in the first quarter. Here we go for the third quarter. 7-7 Westside to get the ball to begin. Sam Fetty will approach the football and sends it into the crisp November air here on the west side of Omaha. Returnable for Avante Dickerson, who last year returned 3 kickoffs for scores. He's able to scoot all the way out near the 28-yard line. Here are the other 3 Class A quarterfinals that are going on. And the semifinals are a week from tonight. The championship game in Lincoln at Memorial Stadium on the 19th. Number 1 seed Omaha Burke shutting out Southeast 21-0. Winner of that game gets the winner of this one. Elkhorn South has rallied with 2 quick scores. They lead Bellevue West 28-22. Can the Storm pull off another upset? And now Millard South has gone ahead of Grand Island 14-7. Just underway here in the third quarter. The Warriors start on the ground. As Opperman carries the football for a pickup of about 5 yards. There's a Warrior down on the field.
And that would be a pretty big loss. Lauren Woyd at the left tackle. And the better blockers on that front 5 for Westside. If he's not able to go, his backup is Caden Schroeder, a seldom used offensive lineman.
I'll try and see where the injury occurred. I just went down, and you can see laying on his side, grimacing in pain, and now he is up on his feet. They will gingerly lead him across the field as he's protecting his right arm.
And flexing those fingers like might have got the hand sandwiched or stepped on or something of that nature. And for those big fellas up front who need to use those hands on every single play, that's a painful one. We'll monitor the situation and see if Woida can get back in there. He's a key cog in that offensive line.
Opperman got 5 on the first carry of the second half. Play action. Peyton hit hard as he launches it downfield, and it is tipped and incomplete. Wilbeck got a finger up ahead of Dickerson to knock the ball away. Wilbeck had an interception back in the first half, but Peyton took a big hit as he let that one fly.
And it was a blitz coming off the edge. Braden Cundiff bringing the heat. It was picked up initially, but Cundiff with a good pass rush move to get to Peyton, and what a play.
Early key moment at the beginning of the second half. 3rd down and 5 at the 32. Peyton looking at his 4 wide receivers under pressure, and he's going to go down. Matt Huser sacks Peyton all the way back at the 24-yard line. That's a loss of 8.
Peyton is brought down in the back.
Cundiff just blew right by that backup left tackle. They are bringing heat. You think that Millard West coaching staff doesn't know that Lauren Woyd is out of the game. Watch right here. Just boom, one move right past him. Tate Haberman got abused on the outside.
You also saw in your picture what a quick swim move by Braden Cundiff. And Westside, because of the injury, they had to go find a backup member of their punt team, and Brett Freund is going to have to call a timeout. On 4th down, he only had 10 on the field. And look at his discussion with his special teams players, and there's Wyoda being tended to behind the Westside sidelines. So Westside has to call their first timeout. 1:10 into the second half, getting set to punt the football away. Millard West is going to get some ideal field position. 7-7. There's Kirk Peterson. Wears his hat backwards because his headset fits better with his hat backwards, he tells me.
It's practicality.
They changed their offseason training. He really likes this team. He has gotten the most out of them. And it's in spots a young team. They fit the bill of what Millard West football is built on. Yoakum's punt will bounce and it will roll. Break for the Warriors. And it'll be down at the 33-yard line. That's a 43-yard punt for Yoakum. And we will get a look at Tristan Gomez for the first time in the second half. On the opening drive of the game, 80-yard scoring drive. Gomez with a touchdown pass to Jackson Hazel. 7-7. Winner to the semifinals against either Burke or Southeast. The #1 Bulldogs, lone unbeaten in Class A. They're up 21-0 on Southeast as they begin the third quarter at Burke High. And we begin the second half with a big run by Sullivan. He's finally chased down from behind by Bretts, but not before he rattles off 32 yards.
Wow, that's just a straight dive play from a power set. And it initially looked like Sullivan was going to be stopped at the second level, but he wiggles free. And take a look. This is just straight ahead running. Good block at the point of attack, and then just an arm swung out there by Curran. Not good enough.
Gomez pitches it late to Sullivan, and he's pushed out of bounds inside of the 30-yard line.
Boy, this looks like the first offensive possession of the game for Millard West. They came out guns blazing on the ground, picking up third downs left and right, and then fired in that 37-yard touchdown pass, and then the offense kind of stalled out for the rest of that first half. They could punch one in here, really put the pressure on that West Side offense to answer.
Add another 10 to the total for Dan Sullivan. Sullivan again. Pushes ahead. About another 5 yards. 5 yards here, 10 yards there. We have seen this script over and over again, and we will get a chance to present Millard West on Game Time.
Especially when we get them in the postseason, Gary. They just, this whole program led by Kirk Peterson, when it comes to November, they know how to win.
Millard South has gone up on Grand Island 17-7. Millard West here in a 7-7 game. They're driving. 2nd down and 6. And this will force a 3rd down and long. As this time Sullivan could not break free.
I'm telling you, I just, coming into this one, I really didn't see Sullivan as a big part of the game plan here. But he certainly has been. He's been involved, and he's done a nice job from that running back spot. You know, Ethan Valencia was the guy who was the other main ball carrier this season for Millard West, but haven't seen him tonight.
3rd down and 6 at the 22. Gomez goes down and he fumbles the football. It is loose. And it is, Gomez signals that Millard West got the football back, and they did. And it is 4th down. Gomez under pressure for one of the rare times tonight the Warriors have brought it. From the backside, forced the fumble, but a break for the Wildcats. They hold on to it. And now it is 4th down.
Well, that was interesting.
And it was recovered back at the line of scrimmage. So 4th down and 6 from the 22-yard line. One back in the backfield, that's right. 3 wide receivers at the top of your screen. Gomez to put it up. Here comes pressure. Fires it. It is caught. And it is Beanham to the 15-yard line. That's enough for a 1st down.
Wow. Pressure comes. It was a blitz package. You're going to see it come from right there. And I believe it was Connolly who got in there and pressured Gomez. Just does get it off, and then heck of an effort by Beanham to skirt the tackle and pick up the 1st down.
2 for 2 on 4th down conversions so far tonight. That's a big one. Gomez pitch. Sullivan tackled after about 2 or 3 yards. Bretts came up. And Sullivan, as they ran the option to the short side.
And that's the one that drives the fans crazy, isn't it? When you run the option into the boundary. The idea there is that you outnumber the defense on the short side of the field. They're going to overload the wide side because there's more space there, and you can outnumber them on the short side.
Working from the left hash mark. 2nd down and 8. Wildcats can get a 1st down. Gomez pushing forward inside of the 5, and he lunges, I think, enough for a 1st down.
Move the chains. 1st and goal. It's our first and goal situation of the evening for either team, Gary. Both touchdowns have come from more than 35 yards away.
7-7. 7+ to go in the 3rd quarter. 1st down and goal. At about the 3.5-yard line.
Jackson Wright territory.
It is right. And it is a touchdown. 13th rushing touchdown. Just like the beginning of the game on the opening drive for the Wildcats, their first drive here in the 2nd half, they put it into the end zone. Jackson Wright from 3 out.
It's physics. Jackson Wright's 5'11", about 205. Dan Opperin is 5'9", 185 pounds. Westside doesn't have a linebacker that weighs 200 pounds, Gary, and Jackson Wright's a big physical running back. He's going to win that battle in short yardage situations.
Freddy's PAT makes it 14-7. 67-yard touchdown drive. Jackson Wright finishes it from 3 yards out. Now Millard West is on top for the 2nd time tonight. 14-7, the first score we've had since the 1st quarter. Beginning of the game, Omaha Westside went 3 and out, and then their next possession, they scored a touchdown. We'll see if that follows right along how this game has gone. Now 6:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. Westside, they haven't played many games this year where they've been tested into the 4th quarter. A lone loss, 14-13 against Millard South, who the Patriots are up 17-7 on Grand Island at Buell Stadium in Millard. And the kickoff, returnable. It's Dickerson from the 5. Well covered by Millard West. Dickerson returns it for 22 yards. Sophomore in the state of Nebraska. Just recently received an Iowa State offer, and he will receive many more before he makes his college decision. The decision here, we've watched Brett Freund with his rotation of running backs. Kind of dictates what they do offensively. Dickerson remains on the field, and so does Sam Parsonage. Now Dickerson, who is multi-threat, defensive back, returner, running back. He's wide receiver, man-to-man coverage with Wilbeck. Bottom of your screen. Payton doesn't look his way. Now he does. Across the middle. Dickerson catches it on the run. Inside of the 30. And down to the 23-yard line. That is a pickup of 50.
It's just a simple post route. He gets to the top, makes that post cut. Cole Payton did a marvelous job of looking off the defender and then delivered a strike. Watch this. It's just hard to stay with this kind of speed.
Payton to put it up again. Steps up, fires it for Dickerson. Touchdown!
It's the same play. It's the same play that they just ran, and it's the same result, except this time Dickerson crosses the goal line for 6.
2 plays, 2 pitches and catches from Payton to Dickerson. And we're at Jack Bush PAT, away from being tied once again in a quarterfinal.
How about that?
14-14. Avante Dickerson is a game changer. And his 2 catches, they drive the Warriors down the field. We're tied at 14. 6:23 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's game time on YurView.
Here's to the do-gooders. They're the early risers, the selfless, the forward thinkers, the brave. There are many ways to describe them. We call them family. CHI Health. Good happens here.
Now it's the West Side cheerleaders that are excited. 14-14. 6:23 to go in the 3rd quarter. This week on YurView's high school football recruiting podcast, Over the Middle. October is when we see surprises emerge on the recruiting trail. And the attention ramps up even more in November. Nobody has a bigger surprise than Arkansas. Chad Morris, first-year head coach of the Hogs. They're ranked in the top 20 in every recruiting service. Jeremy discusses the Hogs' resurgence. He also sits down with Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Jeremy also will take you into what's going on with 5-star quarterback Spencer Rattler, who is an Oklahoma commit. Plus, we'll preview some of the top matchups this week on YurView. All that and more. This week's episode of Over the Middle podcast, you can check it out on YurView.com. Millard South now up 17-14 on Grand Island. Keep you abreast of the other 3 quarterfinals that are going on. After a drive that didn't take much off the clock, 77 yards, Payton Dickerson. Millard West, Garrett Kennedy can't get back to the 20, and try to mark him at the 20. Now it's Tristan Gomez's opportunity. Now Millard South has just kicked a field goal, 24-14. Winner of Millard South and Grand Island will face Bellevue West and Elkhorn South winner. The winner of this game will take on either Burke or Southeast. 14-14. These two young quarterbacks are matching one another. 2 possessions, 2 scores here in the third quarter. Gomez runs the option, pitches it to Sullivan. He's got a lot of green space in front of him. He's got blocking downfield, and now he's into the second level. He's to midfield, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. From behind, he's hauled down.
Hey, Tyson Guzman, what an effort. But Sullivan watched the operation by Colby Gomez in the backfield. He does it perfectly. We're not going to get the replay, but wow, that was a perfectly run option by Colby Gomez. Waited till the last moment to pitch it. And a huge play. Suddenly, Gary, a defensive struggle has turned into an offensive shootout.
68-yard run. Pitch again to Sullivan. And he's inside of the 10-yard line.
Sullivan around the left. Takes the ball down to the Warrior 7-yard line. Second down.
Millard West. And a Jackson Wright 3-yard score to go up 14-7. And then 2 plays by Westside, and they had tied it at 14. Well, this is the 3rd play of this drive. Didn't have any scoring in the second quarter. Now, what happened to these grinded out drives? Tristan Gomez, 2nd down and 5 from the 7, so they can get a first down. And he's stopped in the backfield. Initially met by Bobby Hurley, and then Hurley got some help from his friends. So it's 3rd down and 4.
A big play here, 3rd and 4. We have not seen, and I've hit on it several times, intermediate passing game for Millard West. You'd expect that they're going to keep running the football here.
They do, and they're in the end zone once again. Jackson Wright on 3rd down, another Wildcat conversion. 6-yard touchdown run. And Wright's got 14 of those on the season, 2 tonight. Here we go again. Millard West wastes no time in answering Westside's tying score. Fetty PAT from going back up a touchdown.
Great play fake by Gomez, set it up. Jackson Wright between the tackles once again. It's a matter of size. The play fake is good, and Wright
just ran through.
Just runs over everybody.
Yeah, Curran tried to tackle the football, and Wright would have nothing of it. Such great upper body strength. He pulled away. He's into the red-cladded end zone, and Millard West now leads 21-14. Bellevue West in a game that has found a bunch of scoring of late. Jay Ducker, his 3rd touchdown of the night, and Bellevue West leads Elkhorn South 31-28. As all 4 quarterfinal games are at about the same point. 3, 4, 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. We've gone from 16-8 after tonight. We'll be down to 4. Iowa Western has the career choices that fit your busy schedule. Come to campus, study online, or enroll in evening classes now. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. A big thanks to Don Kohler, Scott Strohmeyer, and everybody else from Iowa Western that has been so important to our telecast this season of high school football. Packett thought he had an angle as he got to the 20 and then slammed on the brakes, and he's brought down right there. So here comes Cole Payton. Can he respond to Millard West touchdown drive?
A stat line update for you. Dan Sullivan, running back for Millard West, 15 carries, 172 yards on the night.
I don't think when Westside defensive coaches got up this morning, they thought that Sullivan would put those kind of numbers up.
I don't know that anybody did.
So can Millard West now stop Westside? Dickerson is at the bottom of your screen. This time He's staring at Gabe Anderson, one of the best defensive backs in Class A in Nebraska. Millard West keeps it on the ground. As Parsonage tried to bounce it to the outside. Loses 2 yards. Will Beck led the charge. Will Beck has an interception early in this game. Peyton threw 2 interceptions back in the second quarter. None led to points. 21-14, Millard West. 3:50 to go, third quarter. Peyton to put it up. Across the middle, finds his wide receiver. It's going to be short of the first down. And it will be third down and a couple of yards.
Here, this feels like a very big third down, as you're going to see Barajas come on the crossing route. He just gets in front of 3 white shirts and shows his number to Peyton. But this third down right here, Gary, this could be monstrous.
Peyton, play fake, run straight ahead. First down. But when he takes off, as we've seen this year, there's no hesitation. And he sprinted all the way out to the 44. So on third down and short, he goes for 16.
Not common for a sophomore quarterback to be that decisive either. That's the impressive thing, is this guy's still got 2 years of high school left.
This is a quarterback-friendly offense. Peyton usually hitting the backfield. Pinballed off one Wildcat and then met a couple of others and wasn't going anywhere. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and it's now second down and 10.
In this second half, Westside has had their most success throwing across the middle. Watch Dickerson, who's lined up to the outside again if they go to that post.
Peyton, pump fake, chased out of the pocket on the run, and he is hit hard from behind by Cundiff. Got maybe a couple of yards, and now it's third down and long for Westside.
Well, you're going to see what happens is the safety gets rolled over the top to prevent Dickerson from being able to get an inside release. And Peyton pulls it down and has to run for just a short gain. The Westside, or the Millard West defensive coaching staff rather, is dialed up to stop Dickerson from beating them over the middle.
Third down and 8. Peyton looking. Second option, firing downfield, and it is incomplete. Skipped along the turf. He wanted Dickerson at the 40, but short-armed it. And Westside will have to punt the football away with 1:35 to go in the third quarter, down by 7.
Well, they tried to run the route combination that got him the quick touchdown on the last possession, and Dickerson has to break the route off because the safety is over the top once again. And Peyton on the run throws it in the turf.
Kennedy is back at the 22-yard line. Yoakum to send it away. And it is almost blocked. This is only a 22-yard punt. Minute 23 in the third quarter, and Millard West, which their offense has cranked it up here in the second half, they get another opportunity with a 7-point cushion.
I think it was harder not to block that punt at that point, Gary, than it would have been to actually get a hand on it.
Sullivan and Wright in the backfield. Wright's got a couple of touchdowns. Sullivan's got a lot of yards. And Wright's got a strong first down carry for 6. Interesting and exciting career in media studies. Check out the opportunities in TV, radio, and sports promotions at Iowa Western. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Last year in the quarterfinals, Millard West was up 20 on Burke in the third quarter and lost 43-37. They're up by a score under a minute to go in the third quarter. They have the football after the 6-yard pickup by Jackson Wright. Wright once again. 22-yard pickup.
Wow, this running game's been throwing body blows the whole game, Gary, just pounding between the tackles. That offensive line now starting to lean on the smaller defensive front, and the holes are opening up for Jackson Wright and company. This one, a big one that gets them out across midfield. And they're going to run out this third quarter and have the ball when we head to the fourth.
Gomez, play action, rolling to his right, fires downfield. Beanham catches it. And he will be maybe a yard short of the first down. Gomez can zip the football. And then you got Beanham, who's got great hands and great speed, makes the catch. And this Millard West offense really unstoppable here in the third quarter. 12 minutes to go. Who is going to the semifinals? Millard West up 21-14. It's game time on YurView.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to take classes I need, spend less time working to pay for them. I want flexibility to transfer my credits. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
All of the quarterfinals are just starting the fourth quarter or nearing the end of the third quarter. Omaha Burke leading Southeast 28-7. They beat Southeast to begin the season, trying to do it again and get to the semifinals. Bellevue West, Jay Ducker, 4 touchdowns tonight as they go to the fourth quarter. They're holding off Elkhorn South 38-28, and Millard South now with a 10-point lead over Grand Island 24-14. Here 21-14. Millard West, an impressive third quarter, and now they are driving. They'll face second down and 7 at the Westside 37 as we begin the fourth quarter. And Grand Island on cue scores, so it's 24-21 now over at Beulah Stadium. Patriots leading the Islanders. It was 7-7 at halftime. Sullivan to the 30.
And Dan Sullivan might be the early favorite for player of the game here tonight. He's been the out of the shadows player tonight.
That is a first down. In Millard West last week against Prep, 427 yards of offense, but 30+ minutes in time of possession. Up by 7. Fresh set of downs. Gomez runs the option. The pitch to Sullivan, and this time he's going nowhere. Brett Curran read it. Open field tackle. That's a loss of 4. That's a rare tackle for loss on that option tonight.
Well, that's just a great job by Curran running the alley from the safety position. Sees the option coming and comes flying downhill to make the hit in the backfield. That is great safety play.
Curran over 60 tackles this year. Last year he had 86 tackles. It's really good defensive backfield for Westside. Now 2nd down and 13. They move the ball up to the 33-yard line. And Gomez keeps it, pitches it to Sullivan, and he is inside of the 20-yard line. That should be enough for a first down. He sold the handoff to Wright. Westside collapsed on Jackson Wright. The next thing you know, the big 6'4" quarterback is lumbering around the edge.
And you see right there on the edge, the player who almost makes the tackle is Tyson Guzman. He gets trapped inside, which allows Gomez free to the corner and sets up the big play.
Another first down for the Wildcats. Miller Johnson will knock the quarterback down for just 2.
6'4" against 5'7". Nolan Miller Johnson just takes the lanky quarterback's legs out from under him.
Miller Johnson, nicknamed Deuce, 3-year starter for Brett Freund. Wondering where the nickname came from. Mom gave it to him. Gomez now in the gun. And Westside jumps. Hard count by Gomez. And 3 defensive linemen for Westside jumped into the neutral zone. Offside on Westside. That'll cost him 5 yards. Now it'll be 2nd down and 3. Moves the ball to the 12-yard line.
Good hard count here by Colby Gomez, and he got everybody.
Frank Ryan, our statistician, he even jumped. Westside sideline now. Can they force a turnover? Can they get a stop? Can they get 3 instead of 7?
Well, it feels like if Millard West goes up 2 scores here, Gary, it's going to be tough for Westside to get back into it.
Gomez runs the option. Pitch to Sullivan. And he is brought down. Their pickup of about 1, and it's Curran once again. Had a great angle. And either Sullivan was going to run out of bounds or Curran was going to make the tackle in the latter half of it.
And again, it's Curran just coming hard downhill, getting to the outside shoulder, bringing the runner down. Playing with abandon for his body right there.
3rd and 3. This is where Millard West has won all night long on 3rd down. They'll be about a yard short.
Ball moved up about a half yard.
Good tackle inside by Jerry Harwood.
Kirk Peterson want to know about the spot. The ball rests at the 10-yard line. 4th down and about 2 yards. We'll hit the 8-minute mark to go. And Kirk Peterson, as the play clock winds down, will take a timeout to contemplate this play call. Key 4th down coming up when you return. We're in the 4th quarter. The winner is on to the semifinals. It's game time on YurView.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Cox Business Security. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit YurView.com.
This is Rose. Rose was destined to be different, to be a small business owner. She chose Cox Business because we're different too. We got to know Rose. And while she likes to take risks in the kitchen, we made it easy to keep an eye on safety. It's just another way we do business differently. Cox Business Security Solutions.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Are you looking for a new career? Explore the programs in business, health, and technology at Iowa Western. You get going on your career path today. Just log on to iwcc.edu. Iowa Western. The world is waiting. 7:58 to go in regulation. Millard West with a touchdown lead. Now they face 4th down and 3 at the 12-yard line as Kirk Peterson sends out his very talented junior quarterback. Mishandled the snap, and then Gomez dives forward. Is it enough? The initial spot appears that it is maybe a half-yard short. There will be a measurement.
Officials timeout on the field.
It's very close. It is ever so close.
Gomez bobbled the snap, and then at 6'4", he just dove forward. Did he get the extra inch needed? Here comes the measurement. If it is not a first down, Westside takes over. They will stretch the sticks. And our camera crew will let you know. Here we go, and it is first down, Westside.
How about that defensive stand? But really, that came down to Colby Gomez getting hurried up under center. He wanted so badly to get out from under center and lunge ahead to pick up that yard. He just pulled out a little quickly. Didn't quite have control of the ball. I think if it's a clean exchange, Gary, he's got it easy.
And here is what happened. Yeah.
He pulls his hands out too quickly.
90 yards away from tying the game. Cole Payton, sophomore quarterback. In motion is Stegman. One of the rare times we've seen him tonight. Play action fake. Payton down the field, and he overthrew his intended wide receiver who was open out near the 35-yard line.
Yeah, if he drills that on the line, Barajas has got the 50-yard line easy. Payton just had to float it a little bit. And Barajas not able to catch up to it.
Stops the clock, 7:48 to go. Millard West with a touchdown lead. It was 7-7 at halftime.
Watch Dickerson lined up in the slot now in motion.
Payton keeps it. They kept the football in the belly of Dickerson for a while. Pulled it out. And then got maybe 3 yards, and here we go. Another key third down in this game. 3rd down and 7. Last week, Westside was uncharacteristically not very good on 3rd down. They were 2 for 11. Empty backfield. 5 wide receivers. Payton on 3rd down and 7. Here comes the blitz. The pass is caught out at the 30. Dickerson goes up and makes the catch as Payton got drilled as he let it go. Pick up a 17.
That's uncommon poise from a sophomore quarterback. A blitz bearing down on him, knows he's going to take the shot. Take a look at this. Payton, tall in the pocket, takes the shot right in the teeth from Harm-Dirks and delivers a strike for a first down.
Harm-Dirks, who committed to Northwest Missouri State yesterday. New downs. Curran on the end around, pinned in by a Millard West defense. Was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. A look at Harm-Dirks, who was on our top 10 plays. The opening game of the season against Millard North. Talented two-way player for Kirk Peterson. 2nd down and 10. Westside needs a score. Payton, pass, incomplete. Wanted Stegman. And he was hit hard by Wilbeck at the 35, and the ball lands incomplete. And here we go, another third down. This time, 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure why we haven't seen Joe Stegman to this point, but it doesn't look like he's in the rhythm of the game yet. Just playing here in the 4th quarter. He runs that slant, has it hit off his hands. Can't make the catch, and another big 3rd down now.
And a timeout for Westside. With 6:09 to go, Brett Freund doesn't want to waste this opportunity, because the way that Millard West turns up the clock, I don't know that you want to give the football back to him. Now Westside is down to 1 timeout. Remember, the opening drive of this half, when Westside didn't have enough personnel on the field to punt on 4th down, they had to take a timeout. So they got 1 more remaining, down a touchdown with 6:09 to go in regulation from Phelps Field.
Yeah, the game's going to get short now. Millard West is going to be in no hurry to run plays if they get the ball back. So this feels like a big possession for Westside.
You've seen our shots tonight of both student sections. The Westside student section is known as the Red Shield. The Millard West student section is known as the Wildcat Crazies. And both student sections are decked out in blue tonight, as they have united in memory of Blake McEwen, a Millard West wrestler and rugby player who unexpectedly passed away this past Sunday. So both student organizations got together. They had a tailgate before the game. They decided to wear blue. Kudos to Millard West and Omaha Westside, as they have banners that say "Friends Unite." 3rd down and 10. Peyton under pressure. His pass is incomplete. Now it is 4th down and 10. There's a lineman down for the Warriors. Alvarez will limp to the sidelines. And Westside will send out the punting unit. So they'll give the ball back to Millard West. Down a score, 6:03 to go. Westside just has 1 timeout remaining.
This is a big kick from Yoakum. He really needs to hammer one right here and pin Millard West deep and hope that his offense can get a 3 and out, and then they'll have decent field position, but it has to be a good kick.
Fair catch caught for, and Beanham on his fingertips holds on to the football. 5:57 to go. Quick update on the other Millard team that is in the quarterfinals. Grand Island has taken a 27-24 lead over Millard South. It was Grand Island that came from behind last week. Class A record, down 24 points. They scored 38 unanswered at home against Omaha North to advance to the quarterfinals. They've been behind the majority of the night against Millard South, but now they're up 27-24 in that game with 1:43 to go. Here, Millard West has the football, up a touchdown, 5:57 to go on their own 37-yard line. Gomez runs the option, and he stood up after a pickup of 4, and he keeps pushing the pile forward. 6'4", 195 pounds. He does not go down easy. And some people, when they initially look at him, they don't think he has any speed. Doesn't have Avante Dickerson type speed, but he's got enough that makes this offense, especially when you're running the option, work.
Yeah, coming into the year, I don't think we felt like Tristan Gomez was going to be an option quarterback. He's operated really effectively here tonight.
He got 5. That's kind of been the norm tonight for Millard West, getting 5 on first down. They'll run the play clock down to 4 seconds. And Sullivan squirts free. Looked like he was stopped after maybe a gain of 2 or 3. And then he's all the way out to the 48-yard line. That's a first down. We'll go under 5 minutes to go. Grand Island has held on to win 27-24. Millard West defeated Grand Island earlier this year in overtime. Millard West is trying to join GI in the semis. They'll put it up. Pass deep down the field, and it is incomplete. And there's going to be a flag, offensive pass interference.
Wow, that was a dangerous throw. That was a lofted ball, underthrown. And Beanham has no choice here, Gary. He has to come back and stop Gomez from picking off that Guzman, rather, from picking off that pass.
There's a discussion. Just saw the replay. I think sitting in your man cave or wherever you might be tonight, joining us on YurView. You can see why the flag is thrown, and the 4 officials of the 5 discuss. It is defensive pass interference. They call defensive pass interference on Westside, and Brett Freund is livid. The entire Westside sideline is irate. Defensive pass interference on Westside. That is an automatic first down.
Yikes. I don't know where you can make this call. The arm hook from Beanham jumps over the back. I don't like to throw the refs under the bus, Gary, but that's not the right call. That is not the right call.
First down for Millard West.
At worst, it's a no call.
4:34 to go. Now at the 36-yard line. Gomez breaks free. And he's inside of the 30. That's a pickup of 7. And the clock continues to run. Defensive pass interference called on Westside.
Oh, man, that's going to be a talking point.
Brett Freund is still talking about it. They'll snap the ball under 4 minutes to go. Grand Island is to the semifinals. Millard West is 4 minutes away from going to the semifinals. Burke is going to the semifinals. The winner of this game will be at Burke High next Friday night. And now Millard West will take a timeout. Stops the clock with 3:52 to go. Second down and 3. And Brett Freund, you see him, he is walking out. He would like an explanation on the pass interference, and he's going to get it. And for our fine folks in the truck, let's see if we can run that replay once again. We'll let everybody decide if this was defensive pass interference. And this is quite the conversation. That is a game-changing call, potentially.
Judge for yourself. I mean, you're saying that little arm extended, that's the offensive pass interference, apparently. I don't know. It's not for me. Yeah, it looks like it's clear offensive pass interference. The arm extended from Guzman, if you want to call that, okay, fine, but...
Or don't call anything.
Yeah, like I said, at worst, it's a no call.
Second down and 3. Both teams now have 1 timeout remaining. Gomez keeps it, and that's a first down. Stops the clock momentarily.
Field goal will do here, Gary. Go up 10 with under 4 to go. It's going to be tough for Westside to come back from that. Between the tackles, on the ground, Gomez, Wright, Sullivan, heavy doses of it coming right at this Westside defense.
There's a stoppage because the play clock reset. And they will wind it again.
Well, that's beneficial for Millard West. Oh boy, that is going to be another talking point right there.
I'll tell you what happened here in just a moment after this play. And Wright is stopped. Maybe a loss of 1. The play clock had gone down to 14, and then it reset to 25. And you could see the officials look at each other, and then they reset it
again.
And more time went off the clock as it runs. They will snap the ball with about 2.5 minutes. 2nd down and 11. They run the option. The pitch to Sullivan. And Sullivan dives to about the 19-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 5. That did stop the clock. Westside with just 1 timeout remaining.
Well, here's the ball game right here. If this Westside defense doesn't get a stop, that should just about do it. A 1st down would put this Millard West offense inside the 15 in field goal range. They could run 3 plays, run a bunch of time off the clock, kick it, and be up 10 with about a minute remaining.
Highly questionable defensive pass interference call has kept this drive alive. 3rd down and 6 at the 20. Wright seals the deal. Touchdown.
Wright takes the ball.
Westside has watched Millard West all night long convert on 3rd down. And they convert on their final 3rd down. A 20-yard touchdown run by Jackson Wright. And Millard West. There's Jackson Wright with 3 touchdowns tonight. Over to the sidelines. And on to another week of football. Fetty's PAT 28-14. And the Westside sideline completely demoralized. It started with that pass interference call. And then Wright converting on 3rd down and 6. He's battling a case of the cramps as he limped to the sidelines. And here's the score.
Body blows, body blows, body blows. And just nobody home on the back end of that defense. Worn down after a heavy-duty rushing attack from Millard West. It's been 3-pronged between Gomez, Wright, and Sullivan, and it paid off right there.
And the Westside fans head for the exits. And Brett Freund still irate on the defensive pass interference call. The flag thrown, it looked like it would be offensive pass interference. Instead, it was defensive pass interference. 1st down for Millard West. And they take advantage of the opportunity to put in the end zone. Now it's 28-14 with 2:15 to go. And they'll ask Avante Dickerson, who 3 times last year returned kickoffs for touchdowns as a freshman, to get something here. And they'll kick it away from him. Kick is returnable. And Packett is out to the 32. Now this is a big play offense. And you have the speed of Avante Dickerson, who runs a 4.37 40, and the left arm of Cole Payton. You got Packett out in the pattern. But they will have to do it quick. 2:08 to go. 28-14. After a pass interference call that will be talked about for a long, long time.
And it's gunslinger time. You got to get a quick score here. Onside kick. And hope you can recover it.
Empty backfield. Payton with some time. Now he's under pressure. Iannello chasing after him. Payton's pass is incomplete. Stops the clock. 6 seconds go off. Bellevue West is on to the semifinals. They win 38-31 over Elkhorn South. What a playoff run in their first year in Class A by Elkhorn South. They upset Lincoln High last week. They give Bellevue West everything they can handle tonight. But the T-Birds are to the semifinals. 3 of the 4 spots are taken. We're 202 away from sending the 4th one to the semis. Peyton, quick toss. Caught. And Yoka is to the 46. That's a pickup of 15. They'll move the chains. Clock stops. 1:56 to go.
Got to start thinking about throwing over the top now.
Quick drop. Pass to the boundary is caught by Taggy right at midfield. A minute 49 to go.
Maybe not the greatest idea to catch it there by Taggy because time's going to come off the clock.
Dickerson, bottom of your screen. Peyton, pass, caught. Got to get out of bounds. Instead, it's a first down. That does stop the clock. Got it to Yoakum. Now a minute 36 to go. They're 41 yards away from the end zone. Peyton has thrown a 41-yard touchdown pass tonight when he hooked up with Taggy back in the first quarter. His pass to the sideline, caught, out of bounds, stopped the clock. That's Taggy. Not enough for a first down. Minute 23 to go. And this might be the opportunity to take a shot for the end zone.
I agree, Gary. I think this is where you take a shot. Put 5 wide receivers out there. Try to isolate Dickerson one-on-one with the safety, which you have at the top of your screen.
Peyton steps up. Now he's on the run, but he's got to think about getting out of bounds in as much yardage as possible. Instead, he's into the end zone. Down the sidelines. Don't step out of bounds. Step into the end zone. And oh mama, minute 15 to go. And Westside gets a 34-yard scramble from Peyton. And all those Westside fans that are behind us out in the parking lot, they may want to come back.
Well,
Jack Bush is on to cut the lead to a touchdown. And look at Cole Peyton. How many times have we seen this season?
Brett Curran with that block right there is what sprung him. A great block downfield by the wide receiver. And now we're within a score.
28-21, minute 15 to go. Westside's got 1 timeout remaining. And look at Peyton even thought, okay, I'm going to go out of bounds here. Instead, the lane was wide open after that block downfield, and he went into the end zone. The future in the metro area for young quarterbacks is awful bright. You've got a sophomore at Millard South. They are going to be back next year. They have 16 underclassmen upset tonight by Grand Island. You have a sophomore quarterback at Westside. You have a junior quarterback at Millard West. And you have 75 seconds left and an onside kick upcoming. Jack Bush, who is the place kicker for Westside, does not handle the kickoff duties. That instead will be on the right foot of sophomore Aiden Jackson. 28-21. It was 7-7 at halftime. The onside is upcoming.
Just doing the math in my head, Gary, it'll be real close. If they don't get this recovery, they might get the ball back with 3 or 4 seconds left.
Millard West has 10 players within 15 yards of the football. Here comes Jackson. He approaches it. The onside kick takes a hop, and Anderson on the hands team right at midfield corrals it. Or I beg your pardon. Recovered by Cole Sullivan. So right at midfield with a minute 13 to go. 1 timeout remaining for Westside. Boy, John, you go back to the beginning of this half when Westside had to take a timeout.
Yep.
Because they did not have 11 men on the field for a punt.
Now, 25-second play clock. You can take 75 seconds off, but Westside can stop it once. It's going to be close. They may have to, Millard West may have to run around on 4th down to waste some time before taking the knee.
Well, first and foremost, Westside's going to have to stop Wright, Sullivan, or Gomez. Westside Warrior player being attended to on the field after that onside kick collected by Cole Sullivan right at midfield. It was 21-14, a pass interference call on Omaha Westside, kept a drive alive. And Jackson Wright scored his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night from 20 yards out on 3rd down and 6 to make it 28-14. But then in a hurry-up offense, Westside's Cole Payton looking to just get out of bounds, instead turned the corner and finished up a 34-yard touchdown run. That's where we're at, 28-21. Brett Curran helped off the field. One of your key members of that defensive backfield. We'll look at Curran in your picture.
Millard West lining up in that 2-back set.
Wright just keeps his head down, protecting the football. Picks up 4 yards. And Westside will call their final timeout. A couple of seconds go off the clock. So Brett Freund is now at a timeout. 62 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd down and 6. John, you want to do the quick math here?
Well, it was about 1:08. I think they could have called the timeout and just got it in a little slow. So 6 more seconds ticked off. When the play starts at 1:02, you figure 5 seconds will run off before we reset the play clock. And then you've got 2 downs of 25-second play clocks, I think. And they've reset the clock now to 1:06. So I believe Millard West should be able to down the ball twice, snap it on 4th down, take a few steps backward, and take a knee, and the game should be over.
Bellevue West and Grand Island in one semifinal a week from tonight. Omaha Burke is awaiting the last 66 seconds here. Now it'll be 3rd down and 5. And looking at the game clock, play clock, this should pretty much do it with no timeouts remaining. Kirk Peterson is trying to, he's looking at the scoreboard, he's looking at the play clock, and now it's setting in on the Millard West sideline that they are going to go to the semifinals. The play clock is at 5, game clock's at 25. This should be the final play. Gomez pushes ahead. It'll be 4th down, but it won't matter. Millard West holds on to win 28-21. And the Wildcats are headed to the semifinals in a rematch of a Game 2, or Week 2 contest we brought you here on Game Time. Millard West and Omaha Burke. Lots to come on the post game. We'll talk with our player of the game. We'll have highlights, stats, much more. 28-21, Millard West defeats Omaha Westside. It's Game Time on YurView.
Sorry, man.
Tonight's Game Time player of the game is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit YurView.com.
Now at H&H, Factory Direct Clearance Pre-Owned. As a new car dealer, we get access to Factory Direct used vehicles before the public. And we just got a shipment at all 3 locations. Visit hhautomotive.com and click Factory Direct to see them all. Deals like this 2017 Camry, only $16,000. We're passing the savings on to you at all 3 H&H locations. Or shop online, hhautomotive.com.
Transform your existing space today with a new remodel from DeLoa & Sons. No matter what your budget is, our in-house design team will bring your vision to life, providing the quality craftsmanship you expect. And you work directly with the owner during all phases of your project, remodeling residential and commercial spaces for over 20 years. DeLoa & Sons. Design, build, remodel. Start your new project today. Call or learn more at DeLoaConstruction.com.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Millard West will take on Omaha Burke in the semifinals. The Wildcats hold on to defeat Omaha Westside. Let's take a look at the player of the game. And a surprise to some, not a surprise to Kirk Peterson.
Yeah, Dan Sullivan. This was a big gainer for this Millard West offense. Didn't get in the end zone, but between the 20s, he was lightning. We really didn't expect him to be a big part of the game plan here tonight, but Millard West came out in that 2-back pro-style set, and Sullivan ran wild tonight. Out of the shadows and into the spotlight, young man. You're our player of the game.
Gomez, Sullivan, Wright. That was a heck of a trio in the backfield tonight for Millard West. Kirk Peterson in the middle of his team. We will hear from him momentarily. Here is the defensive play of the game.
Well, this was early on in the game, and Trey Wilbeck undercuts the out route, races down the field, reading the eyes of Cole Payton the whole way. Just a beautifully read pass. Good play by Wilbeck, and that's your defensive play of the game. Trey Wilbeck of Millard West with the interception.
We knew this would be a good one. Number 4 seed versus number 5 seed in Millard West with a strong third quarter. They win 28-21. So they're going to the semifinals to take on Omaha Burke. Remember, back to week 2, we carried that game on Game Time. And Burke was able to prevail. They're at times their own worst enemy. And Millard West was still trying to find themselves. But they definitely have responded from that loss to Lincoln East when they were up 13-0 and watched the Spartans score 21 unanswered. They have now won 3 in a row. Strong effort last week against Prep, and a really good effort here tonight against a good Westside team. And you see the enjoyment in that huddle. What you don't see on your screen is the disappointment from Westside, a really, really good football team that started the year 8-0, and they made it to the semifinals in their home field, but they cannot pull off the comeback here tonight. One of the key plays late in the game, something that kept the drive alive for Millard West.
Yeah, watching it again, Gary, you see Guzman, he gets the right hand extended a little bit, but most often that's a no call. At worst, I think it's a no call. Dallas Peenham comes all the way back through Guzman, who's looking back, trying to make a play on the football. It looks like classic offensive pass interference. It was not called as such on the field, and Millard West went in to score a touchdown on that drive. Ended up being the difference in the game.
28-21, Millard West with the victory here tonight. They'll move on at 9-2 Omaha Westside season comes to an end at 9-2. And that does it for us for the 2018 season of high school football here on Game Time. A big thanks from all of us to all the athletic directors, the coaches, the players, the parents, and the fans that have been part of our 2018 season. This is our 5th season that is now in the books. Also, a big thanks to our statistician, Frank Ryan, our entire YurView crew. It has been a joy this season, and what a way to finish it in the quarterfinals. Millard West defeats Omaha Westside 28-21. From our entire Game Time crew, John Schreiner, Frank Ryan, our statistician, I'm Gary Sharp. Thank you very much for joining us in 2018. The semifinals are next Friday as Millard West moves on over Omaha Westside. Good night, everybody.
Game Time high school football action on YurView has been brought to you by Iowa Western, the world is waiting, and by Cox Business Security. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time. For in-depth interviews, behind-the-scenes coverage, recruiting updates, and more, be sure to visit YurView.com, your home for high school football.